For my final interview, I decided to talk to Kate Weiner, who works for Coach in their graphic design department. While this isn't someone who works in the PR sector, it is someone that works in the fashion field, which is relative to what I want to do, especially working in fashion. So I thought she would be a good starting place to kind of talk to and see how she got to where she was today. I was hoping Kate could give me some insight on how she got her jobs and what she enjoys about them, especially working in such a creative field, because PR and graphic design really go hand in hand, especially when it comes to social media and advertising and brand management, which is a lot what Kate does for Coach. Your major while you were at Syracuse?
My major was graphic design, and that allowed me to get a lot of experience in design and visual communications, which prepared me really well for my job.
What would you say was the most helpful class you took, or most informative, or most useful?
I took a sequence of graphic design classes in both VPA and Newhouse that allowed me to really prepare for things like working on billboards with digital screens and a lot of in-store signage and displays, which I do almost every day as part of my tasks and revamp things like that. So it's nice to have had a baseline for it already.
What is a tip you would give someone just starting out in the professional world?
I think it's good to use what you learned in school and to have an idea of where you want to be in a few years to kind of have something that you can work toward, but also to stay focused so you're doing a good job at your current position and make sure that when you are ready to move on or take a next step that you have people that will back you up.
How did you start your career out?
I started my career after graduation. I started working in freelance at Brooks Brothers, also in graphic design. And then, as I said, I worked to Theory and had an entry-level position there and had a little bit more room than as a freelancer at Brooks Brothers. And I reported to a lot of senior art directors, and we mostly worked on maintaining brand consistency. And after I was there for almost 2 years, I moved on to Coach, and I'm doing a lot of the same things.
Why are you working in this industry? Do you like the creative aspect of it, or?
Yes, I definitely love the creative aspect of it, and it's fun because this type of graphic design that I'm doing, I get to see in fashion and communications, which are things that I'm passionate about and I've always been interested in. And I love collaborating with different teams and managing different projects so I can kind of have my hand in several things at a time.
What do your day-to-day tasks look like?
So currently I'm responsible for the execution of a wide variety of both print and digital projects, and this includes both retail and wholesale collateral, things like direct mailers, working on event invitations for different things that Coach is doing in New York, advertisement layouts, print and digital lookbooks, and a lot of internal brand tools and emails and banners for things at the company and on our own website.
Do you like revamping Coach? Because it was originally a very, not very mainstream brand and kind of older, and it's recently become really cool and really popular with celebrities. So are you happy with what you've done while you've been there?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more fast-paced and interesting because of all the speed it's picked up lately with its rebrand and having celebrities like Selena Gomez, who's also doing other luxury brands and things like that. So it definitely put us on a bigger scale. And I think it's forced me to work a little bit faster and more efficient since we have a wider audience than we once did, and the reputation is being built up so well, and you have all these other people at the company who are just as passionate and excited that it's gone in such a good direction. So I think it's a lot of fun to see a brand change so much and then be able to contribute to that and see it when you're in the subway platform, see a poster that you designed, or when you're on the internet, kind of see an ad come up on Facebook or something like that that you had a part in, and know that it's successful and it's reaching a lot of different people.
Do you have someone that you learn from at work or can look up to for advice if need be?
So, like I said, I provide daily support to a senior art director at Coach, and she helps me stay on track with projects, and we always talk about maintaining brand consistency across all internal communications and other outward-facing printed and digital materials. So she's someone that kind of keeps me in line and keeps my ideas in line, and if I have any questions, I never have trouble asking, and she's always willing to help.
Starting out in a creative field, especially like graphic design, is hard. Would you just say to like people who are or students trying to start out that you just have to like persevere and kind of keep going?
Yeah, especially like I said, since I began as a freelancer, and that was not as uniform as having your 9 to 5, and you know exactly when you're going in and projects you could expect. So I think in a creative industry, you kind of have to be ready for something that strays a little bit from just like a normal job that's not as creative or fun and things like that, and just expect like a different pattern. So I think not getting frustrated with the way things work is essential, and just kind of knowing that after a few different gigs that might not be exactly what you want, you'll find something that definitely will fit what you thought you'd be doing.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. After talking to Kate, I understood a lot what she does more now, and that really gave me a leg up on kind of seeing if that's something I would want to go into in the future and how that relates to my thinking of a career path in PR. A lot of what she does is very similar to what I've done in previous internships in PR, so I think that was really helpful. While also she's a Syracuse student, so that was something that kind of bonded us and made us kind of have something in common, even though my major doesn't relate with her position. We talked a lot about fashion, which was really interesting, especially seeing two different sides of it, because a lot of the time you only see the side you're working on. So that was really interesting, as well as learning about how she started to turn around Coach and rebrand Coach as something that was cool and trendy and not as something that was worn by people who wanted to just enter into the designer field. So I learned a lot from her, and it was really important to kind of see a different view, and she gave a lot of great insight on how to get a job and how to talk to people, as well as gave me a really good understanding of what she does and how she is someone to look up to at work that she feels comfortable talking to when she needs help, which is something that's very important.